Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I'm going to make a video talking about my favorite fad diet to really make fun of, and because it really is quite ludicrous. And I mean, honestly, no one who looks at nutritional science or epidemiology or anything else really takes it seriously. You know, at least we can make a case for a vegan diet ethically, and it may be in some cases reversing some types of disease. Okay, we can make a case for that. We can absolutely make a case for ketogenic diets as long as vegetables and everything are kept very, very high for a lot of therapeutic reasons, and for some people for body fat and other stuff. Okay, so we need to be clear. These things at least can have some merit. They're not necessarily appropriate for everyone, but they can have some merit. There's an argument to be made, okay? There's an argument to be made for ethical veganism. I'm not saying I agree with it because I don't, and I'm not a vegan, but I will at least admit they've got an argument. And if someone makes that personal choice based on that ethical argument, I've reached a point in my life where I'm not going to make fun of them for it. Okay? All right? Because every human being has to do what they believe to be morally right. Now, that being said, let's talk about the craziness with the carnivore. The adrenal gland thing is, this sums up how detached from reality and how insane these people are. When literally the people who are up here promoting it, because I've seen multiple ones of them do it, they will talk about this. They're like, well, you know, okay, you can get vitamin C without eating plants. You can get it from adrenal glands. There's trace amounts in there, and and technically, you can get enough if everything else is perfect. And it's like, okay. And the argument being, I think, with some of this is that there is some merit to the idea that vitamin C and vitamin E can recycle each other to some extent. There's been some research on that over the years, that technically, if your vitamin E is high enough, you can be a little bit deficient in vitamin C, and your body can seem to use it to kind of recycle it, and vice versa on the C versus E. Okay? And their argument would be, well, we're eating enough vitamin E, we're eating all these eggs and maybe some of this fish, and a lot of vitamin E rich animal foods that maybe they only need trace amounts of vitamin C to avoid scurvy. All right. I mean, we're pushing it, because there's a point where you go, couldn't you just eat some broccoli? Right? But that is the point. Their mindset is so dogmatic and so scared of plants that they will literally come up with trying to find some difficult to source food to avoid eating any plants. They're so terrified dogmatically, and so dogmatic. They're so scared of plants and so dogmatic about vegetables are the devil, the anti-nutrients, which is, again, so completely unscientific and irrational. Because, again, if you honestly think the net negatives from plants are exceed the positives, you have ignored all scientific data for decades in every country, because you have some bizarre conspiracy theory about plants. Okay, again, this is a sign of mental illness. That they're literally talking about adrenal glands. That, well, and I saw one of them one time giving a lecture saying, well, I got the idea of talking to these people, and these tribesmen said that they would take the adrenal gland from animals they kill, and they cut it up into little slices so that all the kids could have some, and this will prevent scurvy. As if this is practical. I mean, it's literally telling people, oh, be so scared of plants that you can go source adrenal glands from the butcher. You can try to get some adrenal glands. You don't want to sit around eating adrenal glands. I mean, wow. Of course, all these people push liver too. Don't even get me started on liver. Liver is not something you should be consuming large amounts of. Just an FYI. People seem to be legitimately unaware of the fact that a liver is not a food you should be eating a lot of. Gout and other things. Plus the fact it's a filter for the body. My God. It's a filtration organ. It's not a superfood. Oh gosh, there's a reason liver tastes nasty. It's why it's so hard to prepare and make it taste good. I personally can't stand it. But you know, this idea we need to be eating all these different things and we can get these foods. And look, there's certain things you can get. I mean, again, if you're needing more omega-3s in your diet, yes, bone marrow. Cooking your soups with animal bones and bone stock and stuff. Okay, that's fine. There's some good essential fatty acids in there. Okay. Right? They're not always easy to source. In fact, there's a lot of data on that, going back as far as anthropologists and people and paleontologists have a lot of hypotheses about that, about bone marrow and nerve tissue being eaten regarding possible our evolution. But we're coming back over to this thing with adrenal glands. Like, for you to source enough to really get an optimal intake of vitamin C, that's a lot of work. And you're eating a damn adrenal gland. Like, how hard is it to eat an orange? I mean, seriously. Imagine having a diet philosophy where you were so scared of plants. One of the healthiest things you could be eating. Right? Just biologically, historically, like, plants are an enormously critical part of our health. They're trying to find a way to bypass that. This is what these people are teaching. So keep that in mind when you start chiming in and listening to these carnivore zealots. Think about that for a moment. Because even though, well, I may not believe everything he says, but I listen to him. You're listening to someone who is oftentimes up there literally talking about, or his circles, other people he endorses, are talking about trying to find a way to eat adrenal glands because they're scared of broccoli. Good Lord. Again, pointing out this entire diet philosophy is based upon mental illness. And I used to say that about veganism until this crap came out. And it's like, sorry, vegans, I'm going to apologize to you, because really the craziest vegans, a lot of them went over to carnivore at this point. Like, aha, we found something crazier. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.